First tonight, cold and flu season is in high gear, and healthcare professionals say they're concerned about Maine's vaccination rates. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on News Center Maine at 5:30. I'm Zach Blanchard.
And I'm Chris Costa. News Center Maine's Caroline LaCour spoke with organizations trying to break down barriers when it comes to being protected in the final weeks of winter. Caroline?
Hey, good evening, Chris and Zach. For some, it's barriers like transportation or even insurance that can stand in the way from getting vaccinated. Now, thanks to over the past couple of months, a recent initiative is investing in Maine's public health, helping hundreds protect themselves around circulating viruses.
We saw a spike in the holidays, and it's starting to subside a bit in late January, but it does seem like we're in the midst of a pretty severe respiratory virus season.
The pandemic is in the rear view mirror for many at this point, but to keep it that way, healthcare providers are urging Mainers to get vaccinated.
Especially for people over the age of 60, that population accounts for 95% of deaths across the state of Maine for COVID.
Since last summer, Northern Light Health and the Southern Maine Agency on Aging has combined forces for a program called Age-Wise Maine, administering more than 8,000 flu and COVID vaccines last year.
There's a lot of sickness out there. I think people are starting to realize that they're vulnerable, and so continued access to vaccines is important.
Flash forward to the new year, organizers are ramping up to combat lurking viruses. Right now, there are 88 people hospitalized in Maine for COVID and 29 for the flu, according to the Maine CDC.
That's why we're out in Standish today and are trying to offer clinics regularly.
And you've had the flu shot before?
To help encourage vaccinations for older adults, organizers are using a multi-pronged approach by scattering across the state, offering home visits, and free vaccines for those without insurance.
So I'm going to do the flu first.
To make sure folks are aware of the resources, reaching to those demographics is another hurdle, with organizers hoping to spread the word through social media.
What we found to be most effective is the towns themselves or the partners that we're working with, like the Portland Public Library is coming up soon.
Vaccine fatigue is another problem, with many putting off getting vaxxed due to flu season being almost over. But registered nurse Kathy Bean Kelly reminds it's still not too late to be protected, as viruses like COVID are active year-round.
It's a long season ahead of us. We're in Maine. It's cold. We know that outside. And, May, June, July, we could still be seeing cases.
Now, if you haven't been vaccinated yet and you're interested, there are a handful of clinics coming your way. Next week on February 7th, there are 2 clinics, one at the Cohen Community Center in Hallowell, as well as the Aristic Agency on Aging in Presque Isle. We'll leave a full list of those clinics in every corner of the state on our website and mobile app. Chris and Zach, I'll throw it back to you.
All right, Caroline LaCour live in Portland tonight. Thank you.